Hello everybody and welcome back to another What's Sold video. I'm Skylar and I'm not a good reseller. And to start off the video, we go over the type of shirts that I try to tell people to stay away from, and I wear them as my sign of shame for buying them in the first place. And so this brand is Crazy Horse. So I've had this for a long time in my inventory. It hasn't sold. It didn't really even get much views on the listing, to be honest. So I would just avoid Crazy Horse altogether. And the funny thing about it, I'm wearing it now. I got, black shorts or whatever. And it looks good. I like it. 100% silk, but it just doesn't sell. Certain brands, they may look good. It doesn't, not necessarily a knock on the shirt, it's just doesn't resell. So to start off this weekend, we've only had 2 sales this weekend, pretty slow. They were on the higher side of value, so that's good. But yeah, the weekends kind of aren't hitting as good as they used to. So let's go ahead and start. All right, and the first item we're going to pull is over here in the filing cabinet. It's a pair of Clark's shoes. All right, and here they are, a pair of Clark's high top black shoes. And I paid $5 for these, and they sold for $39. And yeah, that was the best sale for this weekend in terms of profit made. Spent $5, sold it for $39. That's great in my book. And the other item is not so great, but there is money to be made. So it's over here on kind of like this electronics shelf, and it's a Samsung wireless subwoofer. All right, here it is. So this wasn't necessarily a good flip, so kind of getting it out of my inventory. This sold for $20 and I spent $8. Alright guys, we got a few more sales that rolled in, and one of them being a calculator over here in box V, but not just any normal calculator. Alright, and here it is. It's kind of a something to do with like airplanes and something like that, to track your flights, I guess, calculate your flights. So yeah, cool little calculator, and bought it for $1 and it sold for $8. Alright, now I know buying this shirt and all those other shirts in the past was pretty silly. This one is a very silly purchase I made in the past, and I want to say it was Dave the NC Picker that made me even look out for this kind of stuff in the first place, because I think he got it from like a Goodwill. He bought like a bunch of them and eventually sold them. But yeah, we got a pair of adult diapers over here, Members Mark adult diapers. And here they are. So yeah, Members Mark underwear, big pack, 92 count. And yeah, this eventually sold for $25, and I spent $8 at the time. This took forever to sell. I would not recommend buying them. Yeah. Now what NC Picker had was probably some different type and ended up being better value to sell and everything like that. But yeah, even that, I feel like the sell-through wasn't too bad at the time, but man, it tanked. All right, and the next item that sold is a shirt over in box AE. All right, and here it is. Pretty much new condition, Ohio State champion football shirt. And this sold for $6, and I ended up getting it for free because my dad had it and just gave it to me. So yeah, all profit. All right, and here's the next set of items that sold. All right, guys, we got some more sales that came in, so let's go ahead and pull them. We have one over here in box F. It's a DVD. All right, and here it is, a DVD, Never Forget to Lie, kind of like a Holocaust documentary or something like that. Yeah, so I dabbled a little bit in doing like sealed DVDs, things like that to resell, and they're just kind of slow movers for me. Like I said, at least at this time, I don't necessarily want to tie my money up in inventory as much, unless it's a quick flip or something like that. So, or to say, unless I was tricked into it being a quick flip. That's a whole nother thing. But yeah, so this is from a while back. Took quite a while to sell, probably a year to be honest. And yeah, Frontline, Never Forget to Lie, sealed on DVD. Bought it for $1 and it sold for $6. So typical what you see of other resellers selling. Granted, they don't usually buy it for $1. They're not bad like I am. But Typically when I see other people selling DVDs, it usually goes for that $6 mark. Alright, and then we have a couple of things that I brought in from the house. Now this first one, it's a little funny. A lot of resellers kind of know this joke that goes around where if you touch something, it will eventually sell for just some magical reason in the reselling universe. And this did happen, although I will say I was touching a lot of hats because I was filming the Happy Apron parody video, and I was trying to pick out which hat I wanted to kind of represent Carrie, American Arbitrage. And it wasn't that hat, luckily, so I don't have to take that one, cancel the order because I'm using it for my future videos. But yeah, it was one of the ones I was considering for the video, and look, you touch it, it sells. It's just something that happens. So yeah, kind of a old Cleveland Browns hat. Pretty cool. Bought this for $2 and it sold for $6. Took a while to sell, so it is what it is. Alright, and then the other thing I pulled from the house is a pair of Levi jeans. So here they are, and as you can see, I kind of already have it folded up. I put them in these cellophane bags, clear plastic bags, to make it to where, look, I mean, if they could fit in here, it's pretty much an easy slip into those flat rate padded envelopes. So I may as well get the work out of the way as I am preparing it to be stored in inventory. May as well get it ready to be shipped that much more quickly. And the nice thing about these jeans is that these ones were featured in my recent weekend haul video, the first weekend haul video I've ever did for my channel. And yeah, so these ones, although, you know, kind of your standard pair of jeans, these sold quickly for $13. And in the video, I believe I said I paid $2. So yeah, made a little bit of money there. Although I'm pretty sure in the video as well, I said I was going to sell them for $15. So yeah, pretty much I would say everything I said I could sell it for in there. If you took like the average, probably cut off 10 to 20% on what I said I'd be able to make on it, to be a little more conservative on, you know, the amount of money I'm going to make on it. But yeah, I'm still happy with this sale. I mean, really quick, I just bought it the weekend that just passed, and they've already sold. Took an offer for $13. Alright, now everything can't obviously be a quick flip like those pair of jeans, and something I've had in my inventory for a long time, and you know, you tell yourself, is it worth spending this money to just double it if it is a low dollar amount? Probably not, but it's in one of my favorite categories for this channel, as you guys know, cable. So it's cable time. And it's a Fitbit charging cable. I've sold a few of these, so I kind of did a quantity listing, so it kind of justifies doing the work for it a little bit more. But yeah, all right. And yeah, like I said, going forward, guys, I am going to be putting the Ziploc bags for all my cords so you can see them a little better. But yeah, just a Fitbit charging cable, like those Fitbit watches. And sold for $3, and I paid $1. Alright, well, let's get all that older inventory out of the way. Now we can continue on with some quick flips. So the jeans weren't the only thing that sold from that weekend haul, surprisingly. Believe me, I'm just as surprised as you guys are. You know, as much as I like for things to flip quickly, it's not necessarily an expectation I have on my inventory. You know, I try to just say, hey, I'm going to buy it, and eventually it'll sell. And hopefully it doesn't take a year is kind of my mentality. I don't necessarily buy something and be all like, I'm buying this because it's going to be a really quick flip and that's going to justify me purchasing it. You know, usually I try to just say, you know, hey, if I buy this, will it sell within a year? You know, we'll see. But 2 more items from that haul that I did on the weekend. So, you know, something that I listed and it sold within the week that I listed it. That's amazing. I love that. And we'll go ahead and grab the first one over here. It's those green insoles. So yeah, Sure Feet green insoles. And these ones were, while the box is a little damaged and it's open, the insoles in them are 100% intact, you know, new condition. So that's how I sold them. And yeah, I spent $1.50 on this and they sold for $19 and didn't even take a week to sell from when I listed it. fantastic. So just a little aside, since I pulled those insoles, it reminded me of a situation I was in at a thrift store where I found a pair of shoes and they weren't selling them for that much. It was only like a few bucks. And I looked and I noticed that the insoles were kind of, fancy ones, if you will. And while I didn't pull the trigger, I was very tempted to buy the shoes just for the insoles, because the insoles were pretty much brand new. So for all I know, the thrift store had the insoles, and they said, hey, these are kind of just loose insoles here. Why not just try to find a shoe that they'll fit into, and we'll sell them to try to make this sale on the shoe. That's probably what happened. And yeah, I mean, it was kind of similar to that, where I would say, though, the super feet, if you look at them, the sell-through rate is fantastic on them for what they are. So that one's a little bit in its own league compared to what this story I'm talking about. But yeah, so I looked at them and I was like, man, the insoles, just the insoles alone are probably worth it. Unfortunately, there was like no real resale value in the shoe itself. So that would have been just, tossed to the side. And the insole, while it did have value, didn't justify buying the whole shoe. But hey, maybe something to consider if you're at a place that's like giving away shoes or it's super cheap, maybe the insole itself might be worth something. Something to consider. All right, and let's go ahead and pull another item. And like I said, from the weekend haul, and it is the Canon printer ink. All right, and here it is, Canon Pixma ink. And of course, some Canon Pixma printers go for high dollars, so, their ink apparently does too. So yeah, I bought this for $2 and it sold for $14. So a nice quick flip, not too bad, not too bad. All right, and here's the next stack of items that have sold. All right, so to end the What's Sold week, we have 3 more items that sold. One is like an okay sale, and the other 2 are actually really good. So we'll pull the okay sale first though. It's over here, it's a Dickies shirt. All right, here it is. And a while back I bought it for $1 and it eventually sold for a best offer of $5.50. All right, now the next item is actually something that I bought earlier in the week in that What Sold video. So another fantastic quick sale. And yeah, it's that Apple keyboard. All right, and here it is. And that's not factory sealed, it's just some plastic wrap I put around it to kind of keep the case a little more intact as it ships. At least for me, I kind of like having the case in my closet, as a backup for storage if I need to store this away in the future. So, but yeah, this sold for $36, and as I stated in that video earlier, I had $8 into it. Now, what I also stated in that video is I thought I was going to get closer to $50 for it, but that was just because, unfortunately, I was looking at just, iPad Pro Smart Keyboard. And this is like an earlier model, like a 1st and 2nd generation iPad Pro. So this one had a little bit lesser value. Probably could have gotten a little more though if I would have waited, but I mean, you guys seen earlier in this video, I get excited on a quick flip, so I took it, I bit the bullet, and yeah, so paid $8 and sold it for $36. So I kind of beat myself up a little bit whenever it comes to like, oh, I'm taking a lowball offer or something like that. Like I feel like, oh, I could probably make more money on it. But in the end, I think it kind of balances out because, yeah, I could have waited and sold it for a little more. But at the same time, I'm getting that money back sooner and I can reinvest it in the business. So yes, I didn't get the most money out of this particular item, but at the same time, that same amount of money that I used in that item could be used for more, and it probably in the end will balance out. So yeah, I kind of make it seem like a big deal that like, oh man, if I would have waited, I could have gotten like $10 more on that iPad Pro Smart Keyboard. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to beat myself up over it too much because, hey, I got that money back. I can go ahead and reinvest it. All right, and before my camera battery dies, let's go ahead and pull that last item that sold. And this one was a fantastic flip. I knew it was going to be, although I think I included it in a What Sold video that I didn't air. So yeah, back here, Pro Picker, you'd be proud of me. So yeah, it's kind of this back to life massage machine here. And I bought this a while back. It's in between the $5-10. I know I didn't spend more than 10. I feel like I probably spent like $8 on it. And yeah, this sold within like 2 weeks for 65 bucks. Not bad. All right, and here's the last stack of items going out this week, except for the back massager. All right, guys, and that's going to wrap it up for this week's What's Sold video. If you like what you see, please hit the like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell if you want to be updated on future videos. And see you on the next one.